It's Donny Bravo. I'm here with the one and only Harmony Samuels for Before the Glory. So we just want to sit here, chop it up, have some conversations, man, about you know what I mean, exactly what it took to get to where you are now. So I guess I would start off by asking you, how long have you been in music and producing, and how long have you been at this?
Man, I've been giving my age away, but yeah, I've been doing this at least since I was 14, so maybe about 15 years. I've been making beats since we were making beats on Atari computers. You know what I mean? I don't even know people were, this generation might not even know what an Atari looks like.
That's good. They could Google it.
Google what Atari. A-T-A-R-I. Get it? Yeah, so I've been making music for years, bro. And I was fascinated with just being able to create ideas I have in my head and make them come to fruition. Like, it's like architects that see a flat land, piece of like some land, and see it flat, nothing on it, and just knowing that this idea that I'm gonna create this huge skyscraper. It's that type of feeling. You just know that you just being the ability to create something no one's ever heard before. Fascinated me. And I remember in school, my teacher showed me that I could do it myself. Because, you know, back in the day, you know, as a musician, I was getting like, you'd have to try and do it with all your boys. So you'd be like, yeah, you play this, and you play this, and yeah, I want to sound like this. And now I could just do it myself. I need to, bro, none of y'all ninjas, I'm good. So that was like even more fascinating. And I just educated myself in it, and understood. And, you know, I was what I call secretly mentored by Quincy Jones and Teddy Riley, just by watching their history and just looking at what they did and reading up on them and understanding what it took to become a great producer, you know. And it was a lot of hard work, especially when you realize what you want to be, like figuring out who you're going to be in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, I'm going to be a rapper. Now I got to figure out, who am I going to be as a rapper? You know what I'm saying? Am I going to be a gangster one? Am I going to be, you know, a conscious rapper? Am I going to be, you know, a fake rapper? Am I going to be a pretty boy? Am I going to be a bad chick? So that was what I had to figure out. And what I figured out was I wanted to be able to make music in all genres of music. I didn't want to just be like, oh, you a hip hop producer or R&B producer. I just felt like my musical knowledge was too big to be, you know, caged in by society's cultural differences, racism, whatever you want to call it. Because you're a black boy, you must do this. You know, I grew up in London, so in London we listen to everything. You know what I'm saying? Like in London, you be listening to Coldplay and Jay-Z at the same time. You know what I mean, on radio. So you know, I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with a large knowledge of music. So I guess I wanted to kind of like see how far I could push it.
So like that process of, like you mentioned, like studying Quincy Jones and like some of the greats, like I don't know, like what was that process like for you? So like the self-education, I would say, of like, okay, once you made a decision, like I want to be a great producer, and then you look to these other great producers, right, who were able to achieve things. Like, what was that process like? Like, did you just like listen to all their music by ear and just try to memorize it, or was it like a formal education? Like, how?
It was more. It wasn't. It was definitely listening. Like, I spent more time listening than anything else. Formal education, you understand? Like, we talking around 93, 94. There was no. They didn't care. In England, they was like they weren't trying to teach you how to. Make beats. It's like make beats. What the hell you talking about? Like composer, write a song, write songwriter, but beat maker. No, in England it was weird. So I studied by listening, and also I want to figure out all my favorite producers. Like I said, Teddy Riley, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Quincy Jones were number one. And I just started listening to their music and trying to figure out, how the hell and then we had in school we had like a little, I called it was a studio to me, but it was like a small ass room, and we was in there and I was making beats every day. I was like, I didn't even realize I was making beats. I was just realizing.
So like in that room, right? Yeah. Like, so what was the equipment? Like, what were you going in there and playing what? Like, what was it?
It was a keyboard. It was that Atari computer that was attached to a screen. You remember them old Apple?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, it was like a block. It was like that. Yeah. You had floppy disks, and you had speakers, and you had Roland SP90, and all these like different. And it was small, and it was just that, and they had all these sounds, and I could do everything myself. And I was just like, yo, I'm gonna do this all day. Like I don't need to do this. Wow. I don't need to do this no other way. I'm gonna just do this every day of my life. I didn't care. Like my teacher was like so impressed with what I did that she gave me a key to the room. She was like, "You." Oh, so you lit? I'm like 15 years old, thinking you gonna give me the key to this? Oh, you about to, messed up. Like,
okay. So that's a period. Let's say we put you at like 15 right there. So like, what was the process? After that point, so like once you decided like I seriously wanted to do it, like, and then the next big opportunity, or like was it a strategy that you put in place, or like I'm gonna try to get a placement, or what was like the actual grind like?
Man, you gotta understand, I was in London, so I remember a teacher asked me what good thing can come out of where we're from, which was North London, Tottenham at the time, and I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like, it was the hood. So in London, we had the hood. It was street shit. So my dreams were just wild. It's like, man, I want to work with Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. Niggas was like, "Well, you bugging." Like, we in London, bro. Yeah. We in the concrete jungle. It's not. I don't know how you gonna get there. Yeah. And it was like, so it was just a dream. And I remember just practicing in my room, practicing in that room, and trying to mimic, old Quincy Jones records, like Michael Jackson songs, and Janet songs, and I would try and mimic certain things. And then I was like 17, 18. I hadn't seen this real studio ever. I had just seen them in like videos and read about them. So I was like 17, 18. I had the opportunity to work with a guy called Nelly Hooper, and Nelly Hooper was a producer for an old like English soul group called Soul to Soul, and then he also was a producer for Gwen Stefani and a bunch of other great people. And I had the opportunity to intern there. Man, it was like, just in case people don't know what interns are, interns don't mean you're going over there. I'm like, intern? Yeah. I can intern at the studio? You crazy? I'm coming over there. They was like, I go over there. They were like, yeah, put your bag here. Here's a cloth. Here's some white.
Yeah, I think that's important for people to know though, man, because they see, you know what I'm saying, I see you icy, you know what I'm saying, like they see somebody like you at a red light, and I've done it myself as somebody that's ambitious and think like, damn, like, yo, that's where I want to be, like, I wonder how they, you know what I'm saying, but like they don't connect it to that, starting off with a cloth, and it's like that, you know what I mean, see everybody looking like that's what that can get you.
But don't forget, don't be fooled by everybody's ice, like everybody's ice is real, like, I'm just saying, right now in 2016, everybody's like, my whole 12-year-old cousin, like, where you get that chain from?
Yeah. Okay.
Take that off. I'm just saying, like I had to intern for about 5 years. I interned for about 3 years straight. The last 2, he started using me. By intern, I mean I cleaned the floor, I bought food, and I was in college at the same time too, so I had a nighttime job where I worked from like midnight till 5 in the morning, and then I'd go have class from like 9 till 3, then I'd intern from like 3 back to midnight, and literally just keep doing that.
Wow.
That for years, because it was a hustle, man. It was like I had a dream, and this dude was like the closest thing. He'd done Celine Dion, he had done so much. I was like, man, this is the closest thing I'm ever gonna get to it. Let me hold on to this.
Now how did you meet that dude?
Man, it was just I was going through the paper, and the paper said, music studio looking for like interns and stuff. So I was like, alright, cool, go check it out.
Yeah.
So I went there and the dude was like, yo, we don't need an interns here, but you can go to this dude. You know, he needs help over there. So we went over to him.
Wow.
And then old boy just was like, we just kept pursuing. The one thing I would say is, like, once we got to one level, we had to pursue another. Because after I finished my internship with him, he didn't offer me a job. So I had to pursue a whole nother career. I had to pursue a whole nother, like, journey after my intern. Like, it was like, damn, man, I got all the experience I needed because there was a lot I didn't know. Like, from the moment I walked into the studio to the moment I finished, I did not know that what I learned, I could have never paid for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew how to use the equipment. I knew what, you know, the speakers were supposed to do. I knew what the knobs were for. I knew what the routing was for, compressors. I'd never seen a compressor before as a beginner. I was like, I didn't even know what a compressor was. I didn't know what the brands were. I was just like, I just saw buttons and a big ass mixing console. And I was just like, yo, I wasn't ready to be no damn producer. So those 5 years were really vital for me. And by the time I finished, I was using the equipment, you know, very, very well. And but then I finished my internship. I'd grown up and I felt like it was more for me, especially because there was learning. There was that part of it, which is creativity, and then there's also learning the business. So after the 5 years, it was like 5 years I'd worked on records I didn't know I was supposed to get paid for. There was stuff that it's like, oh yeah, I played keys on that record. It was like, you get paid for that? I was like, no. I didn't know I was supposed to do it.
Yeah, so like, you took the bumps and bruises too.
You know what I mean? You just blind and deaf and dumb. But I didn't really have anyone to kind of guide me, so everything was a life lesson. And then right after that, it was kind of like a whole nother hustle. It was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go ahead alone. Like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go ahead by myself. I'll figure this out.
Okay.
You know, I'm about 21 at this time. You know what I mean? So I found me a little crew. My crew, we just like, hey, we got a dream.
That's dope, man. So like, coming to now, right? So like, we've heard the story, we heard like what it took, you know what I'm saying? And you gave us some real good detail on like how it happened, how you made it happen.
Right.
So at this point, like reaching the success that you have and like moving forward, I know you spoke about like wanting to open doors, but like what's the motivation like for you right now, you know, as it stands in your career? Like what is it that makes you wanna keep going as hard?
Boy, firstly, when you see other people's success stories, you realize, yo man, I just really started. Like I went to Quincy Jones's house, and that was the biggest opportunity for me, because you understand, I was a fan at 14 years old. Like, this guy's amazing, and now I've got the opportunity to be in his house. And he had a wall about this long, and on the wall was a picture of Michael Jackson, and said 250 million records sold. And I stood at that wall like, nigga, I ain't ever gonna be able to do this shit. Like that. I was like, so for me, the first thing that did was bring humility. Like, what am I bragging about? This ninja right here is 84 years old. He got a plaque on the wall that's telling me he got 300 million albums sold. I had nothing. My little 5 million albums don't mean crap.
Yeah.
I got more to do. He was 50 when he did that Thriller album. I got more to do. I gotta stop complaining. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stop bitching and just understand that there's more to do in this game. Like, and that was one, and then two is like, it's not about me. Like, the problem about a lot of people go in the game, it's about them. It's not about me. It's about music's about people. We make music for people. We don't make music for ourselves. If that was the case, we'd be in our homes making music for ourselves, and we sit down, we smoke that, and we smoke our joints to it, and then we just chill. And then you're not gonna be like working so hard, busting your ass for the opinion of other people.
Yeah.
Like, we make music so other people can love it. We don't make music for ourselves. Like, yeah, this is for me. No, ninja. You want, if they don't like it, you pissed. You upset. You feel like a failure. You feel weak. So get out your head, be humble, and understand you're making music for people. And then once that happened to me, I was like, cool. If I'm gonna make music for people, then I gotta listen to what people have to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to pay attention to people. And then three, I think one of the biggest part is, if I'm not gonna create opportunities for anybody else, get out of the game. Because you gotta understand who gonna carry your legacy. It's like giving birth. You give birth to continue your legacy. Oh, we want to give birth. You have it, but when a man and woman comes together, they give birth to continue the name. That's why he keeps the name going. You know, especially if you're a son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He will keep the name going. So
Yeah.
we trying to give birth to sons, man. We want to keep our names going. I don't want it to end with me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want it to end with my legacy. I want it to end with, you know what I'm saying? It continued. Oh, you know, that's a boy's son that's doing it.
No, wait. It's the battery.
All right, man. Well, that's pretty much it. The last thing I would want to ask you, man, is for everybody watching. I mean, you did a great job and got like real, you know, detail with exactly like, you know what I'm saying, what it took you. But if you could say like one thing to the people, you know, producers, writers, directors, rappers, whatever it is, everybody who's sort of chasing a dream in any way, what would you say was like the number one thing that you had or that you did or that you thought that got you to where you are right now?
Man, the one thing I always say to everybody is this, is I had a vision in my mind, and every time I got discouraged, I just remember that vision. I remember I had a vision board and I would always go back to that vision. I'm like, nah, no, this is it. Because you know what it is, you're going to have a lot of people tell you can't do it. They're going to be like, man, I did end up meeting Whitney Houston and almost worked with her, but she died, you know, rest in peace.
Yeah,
with her. But, you know what I'm saying? But I had the opportunity to sit with her and have a conversation and talk to her and hear her story. But, you know, I didn't get to meet Mike, but those opportunities were closer than I'd ever experienced. You know what I mean? And people told me no. And I just kept reminding myself, like, yo, you have a vision, man, go for it. Keep going for it. You know what I'm saying? And I just advise every person, like, if you really, really know that, like, your talent, like, I have a gift, bro, I can't hide it. I can't hide it. So your gift is going to make the way. You just got to keep honing in on it. And then, you know, keep training your gift too. Like, weight trainers don't stop lifting weights. Soccer players don't stop playing soccer. Football players go train every day. Basketball players, why are you not training? Why are you not writing your bars? Why are you not in the studio? Why are you not making beats consistently? Why are you not playing your instrument consistently? Because you gifted. Alright, cool. So I guess you're going to wait for lucky to strike. While Michael Jordan rehearsed a billion times over the same shot, the same move. Michael Jackson, the same. He would rehearse 9 hours doing the same move, and you wonder why he's the greatest ever lived. Go for you.
Put the work in.
The work.
It's always a good word. Well, Harmony, man, I appreciate you sitting down with us.
Dude, bro.
Glory.
I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Peace.
But